Breaking news today, CNN faces criticism for allegedly endangering ICE agents by promoting apps that purportedly assist criminals in evading arrest. How has journalism shifted to potentially undermining law enforcement and compromising public safety?
Hello, and welcome to That News Show, where we discuss the latest facts, fakes, and hypocrisy as reported by the legacy media. Let's roll the tape.
Fox News reports that CNN is accused of endangering ICE agents, an act considered a federal crime. Is this responsible journalism or merely activism disguised as news? We're observing a troubling trend where CNN appears to not only undermine the rule of law, but also jeopardize the safety of those tasked with securing our borders, all under the guise of defending civil liberties. Now, it seems their allies in the media are prepared to cross any line, potentially at the cost of federal agents' safety. Tonight, let's reflect on a critical question. When did it become acceptable for journalists in America to compromise federal law enforcement safety to gain political use? You won't want to miss this.
So while ICE agents are removing these illegal monsters, they've constantly faced danger themselves. ICE says assaults on agents are up over 500% this year. But instead of protecting the brave men and women working for ICE, CNN is out with this. An article touting a brand new app that alerts people of ICE sightings in their area. Now that obviously puts agents at risk, and it gives these dangerous illegals a chance.
Apps designed to tip off criminals supported by media coverage not only obstruct justice but actively endanger lives. This is not just irresponsible. It directly threatens officer safety and undermines the rule of law. When federal officers face a five-fold surge in assaults, it is reckless for media outlets to promote tools that further endanger their work. These men and women risk their lives to ensure our community's safety, yet some networks like CNN choose to feature apps that serve as digital lookouts for those evading justice. Mainstream media and some political figures on the left consistently undermine immigration enforcement, making ICE agents targets and glorifying lawbreakers. ICE is charged with removing dangerous individuals, including those with violent criminal histories, drug traffickers, and repeat offenders. Instead of upholding the rule of law, these entities engage in virtue signaling and political point scoring. The administration's commitment to law enforcement and holding those who jeopardize officer safety accountable is crucial for our country's well-being. They deserve leaders and institutions that prioritize their safety above the interests of lawbreakers or extremist agendas. It appears that the left and their media allies prioritize the protection of those here illegally over the safety and rights of American citizens. Their rhetoric and actions empower criminal elements, compromising the safety of American families for political gain. The American people deserve better.
For comment. And acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says this in a statement, quote, CNN's promotion of an ICE spotting app is reckless and irresponsible. They are willfully endangering the lives of officers who put their lives on the line every day and enabling dangerous criminal aliens to evade U.S.
When an app like ICE Block is promoted by a major media outlet, it challenges not only the rule of law, but also the safety of those enforcing it. The administration's steadfast support for ICE and law enforcement sharply contrasts with the reckless actions of those who prioritize political gains over protecting American families. By endorsing digital tools that help these individuals evade arrest, media organizations prioritize political posturing and ideological activism over the safety of American families and the integrity of our laws. Promoting tools that allow dangerous individuals to evade arrest isn't journalism, it's activism with a high cost to the safety of our officers and communities. ICE agents arrest individuals with serious criminal backgrounds, gang members, drug traffickers, and others involved in violent crimes. Congress should consider laws that define the boundaries of protected speech versus active obstruction of justice in the digital age. There's a distinct line between reporting news and facilitating criminal activity. We've seen the consequences of such failed leadership in the past, where open border rhetoric and sanctuary policies have led to chaos in cities like Los Angeles, endangering officers and citizens alike. Obstructing federal law enforcement jeopardizes public safety and national security, especially as assaults against ICE officers have increased dramatically. Sanctuary politicians and their media allies compromise our community's safety by empowering lawbreakers and undermining law enforcement. Americans rightfully demand accountability not only from lawbreakers, but also from the politicians and media figures who enable them. On one side, there's an administration dedicated to enforcing laws, protecting citizens, and supporting law enforcement. There's a crucial need for a conversation about the legal and ethical responsibilities of media organizations concerning law enforcement and public safety. This isn't just poor policy, it's a betrayal of the government's fundamental duty to protect its citizens.
These people are not undercover. They are coming in heavily armed, throwing in many cases, nonviolent people to the ground. We have video after video of it. So I think we have to hold both ideas in our head at once, deport the bad criminals, but maybe not the 65-year-old grandmother with 6 grandkids who pays taxes and is a beacon of her.
Fox News excels in exposing the double standards of mainstream media in the previous Democratic administration, criticizing CNN for promoting tools that endanger federal officers and highlighting how anti-ICE rhetoric from Democratic politicians contributes to hostility against law enforcement. In terms of sourcing, Fox's coverage is strong, featuring statements from ICE leadership, law enforcement officials, and administration spokespeople, which ensures that viewers receive information directly from those on the front lines. Visually, Fox uses dramatic footage of ICE operations and riot scenes to underscore the dangers agents face and the chaos resulting from undermined law enforcement. Fox News' coverage has been notably assertive in highlighting the surge in assaults against ICE agents, with Department of Homeland Security data showing a 5-fold increase in attacks during enforcement operations. Fox correctly highlights that ICE primarily targets violent criminals, murderers, rapists, and traffickers, but also notes that many detainees have no criminal record, a fact that warrants more attention for a balanced view. Including perspectives from independent legal scholars or civil liberties experts could strengthen the coverage further by addressing the constitutional questions surrounding apps like IceBlock, clarifying the line between protected speech and obstruction of justice. The editorial stance of Fox is firmly pro-law enforcement, aligning with the facts about rising violence against officers. The previous administration's lenient approach to immigration endangered both officers and ordinary Americans, a situation the current administration seeks to rectify by supporting ICE and prioritizing public safety. This isn't just about policy differences, it's a matter of public safety and the rule of law. Achieving this balance is crucial, but it requires media outlets and politicians to support enforcement and prioritize American safety and sovereignty. These figures represent real threats that federal officers face daily, often intensified by the rhetoric and sanctuary policies of Democratic leaders in cities like Los Angeles and Boston. The network grounds its reporting in official data and agency statements, emphasizing that these are not isolated incidents but part of a troubling national trend. The network occasionally employs emotionally charged language describing ICE agents as defenders besieged by activists and open borders politicians. While powerful, this approach sometimes risks oversimplifying the situation by focusing on extreme examples rather than the day-to-day reality of immigration enforcement.
Exactly. And so I just don't understand why an argument to protect a certain amount of people has any weight in this conversation at all, when the conversation is about protecting Americans from those monsters and protecting ICE agents from the domestic monsters that are trying to ambush them.
Or just that divert attention from the safety of Americans and federal agents, particularly in immigration enforcement, are contradicted by the facts. These are tangible issues for millions of Americans, particularly in cities where anti-enforcement policies have led to chaos. This rise in violence is linked to a hostile environment fueled by politicians and media figures who criticize law enforcement and advocate for policies that release criminal offenders. ICE agents have experienced a 5-fold increase in assaults, a significant spike that cannot be overlooked. Sanctuary policies and tools like IceBlock allow violent offenders to avoid capture, burdening every economic sector. Americans expect their leaders to prioritize their safety and prosperity, not the interests of lawbreakers or the activists who support them. The erosion of the rule of law makes businesses hesitant to invest in areas where safety is not assured. The message should be clear: protecting American families and those who serve them is crucial for economic stability and national sovereignty. Additionally, the tech sector's adoption of privacy tools that conceal criminal activity does not promote genuine innovation or economic growth. Instead, it fosters a market for evasion, harming the communities these companies intend to serve. This neglect is why many Americans have lost faith in elite institutions and are calling for a return to common sense and accountability. The current administration's dedication to restoring order and bolstering law enforcement contrasts sharply with the previous administration, whose policies led to record border encounters and allowed numerous criminal aliens to remain at large. Small business owners, including many immigrants, find their livelihoods endangered not by enforcement but by the resulting lawlessness when it is weakened. Manufacturing and logistics firms, crucial to the American economy, are reluctant to expand in unstable regions, jeopardizing blue-collar jobs and reducing the tax revenue that supports essential services. Well, there you have it. When networks like CNN jeopardize the safety of ICE agents, they're not just undermining law enforcement, they're attacking the very concept of national sovereignty. What we are witnessing is not journalism, it's activism disguised as news, and it's dangerous. The truth is clear. A nation that cannot defend its borders ceases to be a nation. This isn't about holding power to account. It's about undermining those who protect our borders and, consequently, our families. If defending our country makes us unpopular with the globalist elite, so be it. The American people are tired of being told that their security is secondary to elite virtue signaling. What do you think? Give us your thoughts below, plus don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back with more soon.